So I've got a cold day here. We got some pups that are hanging out with us inside. We're going to go over the skills that we've been covering with Mr. Bowie here. So this first exercise that we've got is relax on a mat, and this is the most important exercise that we go over with the little guy because we want Mr. Bowie to realize that he's got the capacity to relax himself and calm himself down. So what we're going to do here is just break out our mat, and uh, we want him to come over and ideally put himself in a DOWN, rest his little chin down, and relax. So initially what I'm doing for him here is just giving him a few treats for hanging out in his SIT there. The only reason that I'm spelling that is because I don't want to give him the command. I want him to do this 100% on his own, and so I actually don't give him commands during this exercise. I remain silent, and just been giving him some treats when he's doing the right thing, which is putting himself in a nice relaxed body posture. And so it's a fake it till you make it sort of situation. The relaxed body posture is sending a signal to his brain that everything is a-okay. And so we really want him just to be able to calm down and relax, predominantly in a new environment, but also with new dogs, and to just bring that emotional state down. And so we break out a mat. You can utilize any mat, any towel if you want to utilize this exercise in the future. And it's, I like to use something lightweight because it's something you take out, you put down, and then you pick it up when you're done with the exercise. It's not just a dog mat or something that hangs out on the floor all day, every day. So you'll break out a towel, set it down on the ground, and then we want him to go into a nice relaxed body posture. Um, the only thing that I would love from him right now is resting his little chin down on the mat. And so if he started sniffing down towards the mat, then I would give him treats and let him know that that is within proximity of what I'm looking for. Ideally, the end result being I actually just rest my chin down. Um, so he's pretty locked in on me, which is actually not what I want. I want him to be perfect in his own world as much as possible and doing his own thing. And so when he's in this really relaxed state, I want him to just be in his own world, in his own calm state, not super concerned with what I've got going on. And um, anyway, this is really huge. I noticed sometimes, like when he first got here, he'd do a thing where he'd like whine a bit, and I could tell he was a little anxious. He just had a little underneath the breath whine, and it's really wanted to bring down that emotional state. And so this is the way that we do that. Work through relax on a mat. Um, Again, very, very crucial for just his emotional well-being. So something that you can utilize anytime that you come into a new situation, an environment that he's a little bit stressed out, a little bit worked up over. And so break out a mat, puts himself in this nice relaxed body posture. And then I like to set the treats down on the mat. It's the only last piece to that. I don't want to treat him from my hand because I don't want him to focus again on me at all, if at all possible. Perfect. He's completely doing his own thing and in his own state, basically. So what we're going to do after this is I'm going to take a treat. I'm going to toss it off the mat here. Get it, buddy. We're going to scoop up the mat. Yeah, you did good. And we've also been going over his name recognition exercises. So this is for just cultivating a stronger recall response. So anytime that he's outside, if he's humping or barking, I just want to get his attention, get him to come on over to me. And so strong name recognition is the precursor to that. So what I'm going to do is take a treat, drag it up towards my face. This is the easiest rendition. I'm going to say, Bowie, give a click. The click pinpoints the precise moment that he's done what I'm looking for. The exact action is perfect eye contact. So I'm going to say, Bowie, good. Bowie, good. And I'm going to do it without dragging my hands up towards my face. He's got to make some good eye contact. Bowie. 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 And the clicker really allows you to be very precise. And so there's a couple seconds there where he was like looking down towards my bag or looking at my chest, really wanted to wait for that eye contact. So allows you to be very precise with the exact second. So So he's very clear on what it is that you're looking for. So I love the clicker, and feel free to remind me to give you one. I'll give you a clicker when you come to pick up the cutie, and it can be utilized to form any sort of behavior that you want. Honestly, anything you like, boom, give him a click and a treat. Lets him know that you want him to continue to exhibit that behavior. So he's going to say, I'm going to relax here. Uncle Dan's just blabbing on. So I'm going to take a treat, toss it over here on the ground. Bowie. Good. Take a treat over here. Bowie. So what I'm doing on this, just taking the treat, toss it on the ground, and then I want him to focus back in on me. And the most important piece of this is that I want him to be able to make a 180-degree turn and turn back towards me as soon as he looks at me is the precise moment that he's done what I'm looking for. So I take a treat, he's turned away. Bowie. Bam. As soon as he looks back at me, then we give him that click. On this one, usually I'm a little bit more lax on not staring me straight in the eyes. I've honestly never seen a dog turn towards me, stare me in the eyes, and then come walk straight towards me. They always seem to look me in the chest because they're kind of moving towards me. I don't think they crane their heads up when they're moving. So I consider that acceptable, and that's fine and dandy. And then working on some recall. So I just take a treat, toss it over here. Bowie, come. Give it a click once he gets all the way up. Bowie, come. Bowie, come. Bowie, come. Nice job, bud. Just getting used to following after me. So I usually like to use my name games, get them real comfortable, and then jump into recall. And the two D's that are your two variables you can always adjust are distance and distraction. So you can always work from a further distance to make things harder, and in a more distracting environment to make things more challenging as well. So we always want to continue to increase the difficulty, but not take it to an extent that we are our dog's not being successful. So we could always alter the criteria, get super close together if we need to make things easier, or bring them into an environment that's less distracting to have our pups allow them to be successful. So you can always utilize those criteria to make things easier and harder for your pup. So again, we always want to make things challenging to where our pups can continue to experience more and more difficulty and difficult experiences within our training. But we never want to get frustrated with our pup, realizing that the variables are always within our control. So if Bowie's not doing what we want, then we are in control of that. It's never his fault. We're the ones that can always alter the way that that training environment is set up and what we're requesting from him. So anyway, a really key point with those two Ds, distance and distraction. So next, Bowie, touch. Good. So on this one, I just want him to come up and bump my hand with his nose. I notice sometimes he's not getting positioned exactly where I want him to be. So, Bowie, touch. So no click, no treat on that one. I have noticed sometimes he wants to raise up his paw and give me a paw, but that's not what I'm looking for. So what I'm going to do here, Bowie, touch. Bowie, touch. Give him a little bit of an easier rendition on that one. The first one he was successful. On the second one he was unsuccessful. It's fine. No click, no treat. And he's going to learn, oh, that's not what they're looking for. No click, no treat is just as informative for Bowie as a click and a treat. If he doesn't get rewarded, he's going to say, oh, darn it, what did I not quite do? And so you can then get across to him that he's not meeting the criteria. And so what I did after that is just put my hand a little bit closer to his face, and then he can be successful. You did notice there he raised up his paw. I think that he thinks that I want a high five, which is not what I'm looking for. And so didn't give him a click, didn't give him a treat for that one. And so he said, oh, okay, this is what you're looking for. Once I put a little closer to his nose, then he can come up and bump my hand. But I really wanted to be able to position him wherever I need him to go without needing to ever like push him around or anything. I want him to go where I want him to go simply by giving him the targeting exercise. It's also excellent for recall. I've noticed that sometimes he'll do a thing where he gets up, he's close, he's not exactly where he needs to be, and so he'll get almost up where I want him, but then tell him touch, and then he gets exactly where I want him to be positioned. So those few exercises are really foundational and really beneficial for the rest of the pack. So we really want everyone to have some good recall, be able to be locked in and focus on us. And then also just be able to calm down and relax in the environment. And so the first thing we did was relax on the mat. So I really wanted to be able to come in, boom, first thing, we can calm down, relax, realize this is a nice place to be, everything's a-okay, and then move on from there. So it's an excellent segue into the environment. And to be honest, I mean, he's pretty happy-go-lucky at his meet and greet. I actually feel like, sometimes dogs are aware, oh, my, bed's being brought with me, all this stuff's being brought, so they're pretty aware of what's going on. Mom and dad are going on vacation, and so allowing him to immediately jump into a training session, which is what we did, and do some relax on a mat. He was able to calm down. He stopped doing his whining, whimpering sounds, calmed down and relaxed. And so that was a really good segue. And so now, as you can see, he's getting plenty of exercise. He's nice and calm and relaxed, and has really settled in nicely. So we'll sign off here, but yeah, definitely encourage you to continue to work on some of these skills. So again, relax on a mat. All those name games are fun and a great precursor to everything. All skills, as we can get our dogs to focus and lock in. Work on some recalls, which have come when called in all sorts of different environments, and really have that locked in. And then targeting. So simply say touch is the command, and he comes and bumps our hand, and we get him positioned wherever he needs to go simply by telling him touch. And that's a really excellent foundational exercise. I like that one. If you're out and about with your dog, then I can get Bowie's attention and also get him positioned where he needs to be. Sometimes if dogs feel like they need to take control, for instance, they'll walk out ahead, feel like they've got to manage the situation. We can simply say touch, get him back right next to us. We say, no, this is where you need to be. I'm directing you. I've got the situation under control, and can actually help your dog feel more at ease. So we'll sign off here. But yeah, Mr. Bowie's doing a great job, really settling in nicely, and we love having that dude around. He's a great guy. So you got more treats? I know you got more for me. Beautiful.